Man, that was awesome. We just had this idea. I knew, Brent, that you were coming into town. Just a quick intro here, by the way, too, for everybody watching. We've got Ben Copenhaver here. We've got Brent Whitacre, who is our coach, CopeGrand's coach at the coaching Business on Purpose, which is out of Bluffton here, so just south of Charleston. But you guys coach clients all around the country, which is pretty fascinating. And a lot of your clients, not all of them, are construction related. Which does help
Not
us.
100% of our clients.
Right.
86% of our client base
is contractor and builders, which is pretty cool. So, hey, this is, some of these things just come together magically, as you guys know, that you get an idea and it doesn't come out of your brain. It just rolls into something. So we've been looking forward to you coming, spending time with us for quite a bit of time. We're only 2 hours apart. We go down to Bluffton oftentimes because Business on Purpose throws together the leadership events. Business on Purpose does the summits that we enjoy coming to. So we oftentimes go down there. But you offered to come up to see us and hang out with us. And we said, hey, come to one of our breakfasts. So for those many of you may know, we do bi-weekly team breakfasts, which we love getting together with our team, particularly just to eat. And there's some symbolism in that. There's some interaction. There's definitely community with that. But number one, it's us interacting as a family unit, CopeGrand. And it's a special time for us. We have some really great conversations in there. Sometimes we have some really tough conversations in there. Sometimes we have really, difficult or, emotional conversations in there. And these are the things, though, that drive us into doing tougher things as a unit, as a family. And so maybe that comes full circle as I'm chatting here to the idea that I had this weekend. I was like, Brent's coming to town Tuesday. Today's Tuesday. So I had this idea on Sunday. There's ice on the ground outside on Sunday here in Charleston, which is bizarre. And I knew that you were a cold plunger. And we'll talk about this for a minute because it does relate to doing hard things. And maybe a lot of the things that we might chat about today are doing the difficult things and then earning the opportunity to be stronger, more resilient, more prepared. And then certainly through what we just did, there's mental clarity benefits, there's health benefits. But we just got done doing a cold plunge. That was the idea on Sunday. I think I voice texted you, which
Sunday night, I'm like, Sunday night, 7:30, it's never good, right? And it's Adam and Adam's, the way Adam just articulates. So I was thinking about something. Then I'm like, okay, all right. Yeah, I had something on my mind.
What did it say?
Let's just like, hey, what if on your way into town, what if we started the day by a cold plunge? And I'm like, hey, say no more. I think it bleeds into what we're doing in life and work because those necessarily intersect. Of going, hey, can I step into the uncomfortable and learn how to manage and live in the uncomfortable? And then that's what ultimately gets us better and sharper. And we can build brotherhood doing it. You suffer together for 3 minutes. There is a bond there. It's silly. It sounds silly. Mm-hmm. But there is something that we've accomplished together that most people aren't doing. They're not going down to the creek to get in the water for 3 minutes and really be uncomfortable.
Mm-hmm. Man, I love that. There's a quote. I'm sure it'll come up today. I'm not going to hijack the thought process about the cold plunge right now, but I will bring it up about doing things together that I love. And over the years that we've known each other now and been working together, I've got this book right here and another one that I've written down so many awesome quotes that you have shared. That have been impactful to me. But yeah, so I leave this voice text, which many of you that know me, I like the voice text because it's efficient. I can get it out real quick. I don't have to worry about grammar.
Driver on the desk.
Efficiency
is huge.
Yeah, driver on the, I'm a D right there. So also it allows me to show emotion when I do it too, because I can't do that as well through texting the normal way or sending an email. So I'm glad you accepted it. And most people wouldn't have. Most people would have been like, no, I'm not coming. I'm not driving the whole way into Charleston just to go in the cold creek behind your house, Adam. The ice just melted. And so there we are. It's kind of the coldest conditions that we could imagine. Fortunately, I plunged, I'm not a regular plunger. I will become one, I do believe. But I plunged with another group, talking about community and brotherhood, is just about every single morning. I work out with a group called F3, and I love those guys. And I love what we do together. And we had an opportunity to cold plunge together as a group just in December. So I was a little bit more mentally prepared. We really threw Ben to the wolves. Ben didn't know about the cold plunge till last minute.
You said, "Are you going to let Ben know that we are plunging?" I said, "I guess I am going to let Ben know."
I'm just glad we did it at 12 o'clock and not 6 o'clock.
Yeah, we had that.
Give us a little bit of time to
a
warm
little bit
up.
of buffer in the temperature.
So yeah, I mean, this is an incredibly difficult thing to do, is to take your mindset and say, well, listen, you know things are good for you. You know going to the gym is good for you. You know running and working out and doing cardio is good for your health and it's got benefits, but why do we always stand in our way? Willpower, potentially solidarity, coming up with an excuse. Maybe like, hey, instead of doing that thing that I know it's going to make me better, maybe I'll go check this box over here or do that other thing that might give me a dopamine hit. It's probably not going to be as big or as beneficial in some regards, but we create these excuses for why we do things. And so that sense of community, right? Our community, what we did together, our family at CopeGrand, the routines that we've gotten in, the biweekly breakfasts, the regular hangouts that we do, the one-on-ones, the power of those things with communication, with community, with family has been amazing. So, yeah, we did throw Ben to the wolves a little bit. I remember, but it's not the first time. In our team retreat last year, the year before last,
2 years ago,
yeah, and speaking of it, like, I don't know if everybody can see, but we're drinking tea today, which is great. So we're just warming our cores up, which is a great idea. Thank you. But I picked 3 mugs out of our pantry there that have all this significance wrapped into it. So that was a gift by y'all. You've got the Business on Purpose mug, which is awesome. I use that one pretty often. Ben's got a Blue Ridge, Georgia. And when I pulled that one, I was like, yeah, that's significant because that's where we took our team retreat a couple years back. And that's the first time we did a cold plunge. I think that's the first time Ben and I ever did a cold plunge together. There's an awesome Lake Buckhorn Lodge. Just shout out to it. It's in Blue Ridge, Georgia, Ella J actually. It's where we take our team retreats. And this is a difficult thing. The team size that we have is fluctuates 8 to 10, right? And then we invite spouses or significant others. And so you need a house, not only that can hold everybody, but most important to CopeGrand is you need a house that can sit at a dinner table, everybody. And so you might get a lot of opportunities to house 10 bedrooms, but you don't get those opportunities to have houses with a dining room table where we can eat together. And we already talked about, or I already shared what that means to us. So Lake Buckhorn Lodge also has a lake behind it. And so not everybody, but a bunch of us got in and did the hard thing. Actually, I'll just say I was kind of a pansy. I dove in. We dove off the dock. We had the drone there. It was a really cool shot. Jacqueline might be able to help us bring that in. It was really cool. We all dove in, but then I just did a loop and came back around. And the man that was there, just shout out to Chris, was our estimator, and he swam out there like, I don't know, like Free Willy. He was out there for like 5 minutes, and I remember coming back being like, I ran up to the house, got a cold shower, hopped in the hot tub or whatever, and I was like, he showed resilience, right? He showed some amazing fortitude to be in there and do the hard things, and I know that he's getting a bigger benefit than I did out of it. And so my next foray was in December when I did the last one, and now today, and I think that I'm going to keep that pace. Thanks to you, really, because without you coming here and doing this, it would have been difficult to say, Adam, Ben, let's just go jump in the river, just because we can. So thanks for starting that today. Why don't you just share a little bit, because you do it more often, for whoever's listening. What
cold plunge benefits.
Yeah, we got to dig into
And I
it.
preface this: I'm not a medical,
Not a professional.
right? I look at what the research is saying out there. I can share with kind of the genesis. I had a black lab named Maddie, and at 8, she made it to 16. At 13, they start slowing down, joints start hurting. Athletes have done cold water forever for inflammation. I said, so I started taking her to the May River, which is a tidal embayment in Bluffton. One December, I remember it vividly. It was overcast, it was cold, she's retrieving. I said, what would it be like if I got in the water with her? And it was almost like a bravado thing at that point, right? Can I do it? I got in, swam with her for 2-3 minutes, got out, and I'm like, whatever I feel right now, I want a bottle. And I'm like, what am I feeling? Curiosity, having a curious mindset, which could be a takeaway from the day. Always stay curious. And so I started looking at the research. Well, I am not a spring chicken. I hit 50 last week. I've got a 5-year-old. And so as I look at the benefits, longevity is what I'm reading because it's good on inflammation. I've read where it can stimulate brown fat, which is something we lose as we age. I know personally for me, I run hot. I've told you boys that. I run hot. I'm either 90 miles a minute or I am 0. And so when I track all my metrics on a health band called Whoop, shout out to Whoop, I can go in a cold tub. If I've had a day and my stress meters, which it reads, are high, I can actually track this, and I'll get in the tank, my cold plunge, for 3 minutes, and after, I will watch, and they will drop significantly. That mimics what my stress response is when I'm sleeping. So for me, my wife knows you've plunged today. I call it the neurochemical cocktail that I just feel good. I don't know the science behind it. I don't know if it's dopamine, noradrenaline. I don't know, serotonin. There's a bunch of cocktails. Whatever the recipe is, it works for me. And so I'm a happier, more laid back, calm, less reactive person when I consistently, we talk about RPMs, repetition, predictability, meaning, do cold plunges. And so that's why I got into it. And it started multiplying. And that's the beauty of the community, which I've seen y'all lived out today. Time around the table with your team, they've got a voice, they can be heard. It's hard to hate up close. Not that we hate people on our team, but we do this from time to time. But when I'm in proximity and I'm up close, you're like, man, I understand a little bit more why so-and-so is that way. And so, for me, it's that more people started plunging. I had a buddy ride by one day. He's like, what are you doing in the river? I'm like, join me. He joined, and it started multiplying. And it's like gremlins. You get them wet, and they multiply, which is our logo for the Bluffton Plungers. And
Stick them in the microwave, right?
yes, stick them in the microwave, bad deal. But now there's 20 plus people that are consistently getting out in the river, getting out in nature. You want to feel good, go out in nature. Getting around people, doing some things that are not easy, and you get out. Here's what everybody says every time. It's like clockwork. Man, that was amazing. That's the best thing I've done today.
Amen.
Yeah, and so I'm like, we leave there just better humans. For that time, for 3 or 4 hours, we are better humans.
So how often are you doing that?
I am consistent 5 days a week.
That's good.
And there's a group of F3 boys down in the low country, down in Bluffton, that every time after what time do y'all work out? 5?
5:15, yeah, depending on the location.
Clockwork, after that workout, those 4 or 5 are in the May River, and it's still somewhat dark.
Yeah.
But that's another, they're just forming these lifelong memories together. There's a camaraderie there. So for me, man, I can tell you, hey, if you want to know if somebody cold plunges, just they're always talking about cold plunges. And so I can talk try it out. It's not one size fits all. You need to know if you have pre-existing conditions.
For sure, yeah.
But look into it. It's been one of these, I would say, along with sauna in my arsenal, so that my health span matches my lifespan. And so one day, my hope, the reason I do hard things, you have to have, like y'all talked about your mission today, why y'all get out of bed. My mission is so that I can see my daughter, who's 5, I want to meet her grandkids, and I want to be as vibrant as I can. What's under my control. And so that's the genesis, that's the why, and that's where I've seen some of the tangible benefits.
we'll get on to the next topic eventually, but otherwise we need to, because everybody's going to think that you're our fitness coach rather than our business coach. I mean, look at him. I mean, you can rewind the video and just like snapshot that and put Brent on the cover of a magazine. Like, and I would have never guessed, still to this day, would have never guessed that you have 50 years.
Yeah, God.
And that's awesome, man. You look great for that.
Thank you.
And it's because of the things. What's that?
Powerful why behind it, right? Like the 50. But
Yeah.
I digress.
Well, I'll just say that you're the best looking 50-year-old,
I mean, I'll take it.
you know, that I've ever met, and I get to hang out with a lot of them, you know, in F3 in that community.
Sure.
And by the way, we brought it up a few times, not on purpose, but maybe just the impact that it's had on my life. I had a health scare last year. I'm coming actually on my 1 year anniversary of it, and that's how I got introduced to it. And those of you that want to know more about it, it's just workout groups that are now nationwide.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, worldwide. Across the country, you can look up if you're in any big city or that sort of thing. You can look them up and you can go, and these guys
cost
run.
you anything but a time investment, right?
Oh, it's free and open to
Yeah.
all men. You just show up,
Yeah,
and
love that.
you help each other and you get better. And it is about helping each other. It's not, you can get help there. You can help other people, and that's the coolest part about the community. And you help yourself by getting fit. And I would say also mentally fit too. I shared what I thought was something incredible this morning. So at the end of every exercise, there's a circle of trust, and the person that leads the workout gets to share something that's meaningful and impactful to them, that they want to share with the group. And these 7 items,
Yeah.
the way that our leader this morning presented them were principles for being a father.
Yeah.
And I instantly rolled them into, holy smokes, it's not fatherhood. It's also motherhood. And it's also leadership.
It is.
And so at our team breakfast, I took these things that we talked about in a workout and took them straight into the table.
Sure.
And it was like, I'm looking around this table, and it was just like, I just felt it. Everybody pounding on the table like, yeah, that's right. That's right. This is a good one. Maybe we'll talk about those things today as in context, but I remember reading through those and just instantly being, there's our core value. There's our core value. That's another one of our core values, which was super sweet. So, all right. This is, I might digress here for a second. Brent, this is an honor for Ben and I, who have been interested in starting really formally this Grand House. So we've had this Grand House, our name for our YouTube series, our webinars, our podcast. This Grand House is just our opportunity to share conversations with others that we can just help share our knowledge, share our experience, invoke conversations that will better others within our industry and hopefully beyond. Okay, and that's one thing that this team, not only for our teammates, our subcontractors, our suppliers, our clients, that we just enjoy doing. We enjoy being educators. We enjoy being professionals. We're continuing to look forward to bettering our best every single year. And speaking of that, it's kind of ceremonious that we get to do it this year, because this is our 10 years, CopeGrand. Ben, we've been in business 10 years. I don't know what the stat is. What's the stat? How many businesses make 10 years?
You could skew this 1% one way or the other. Don't get caught up in that. I said don't choke on a gnat, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's anywhere from like 91% or higher that do not make it 10 years. And the ones that make it 10 years are typically not thriving. So you guys have separated. Yeah, I'm not blowing smoke, but y'all have made it, and y'all are going in the right direction, right?
Yeah.
We're not cannonballing. We are trajectory is upward. So that's awesome. 10 years. That's an honor for me to be here and being sitting in here and go, man, 10 years is a big deal. You just shared about how your dad was when you boys were in college presenting at IBS, and now he's full circle coming back to Orlando 10 years into CopeGrand Homes.
That was a
To
good
join
point,
us.
Yeah. And time's flew since then, too.
That.
Yeah.
So this is episode 1.
That's cool.
We've done some other things.
Yeah.
We've done some other things that people have available to watch on YouTube, but like this is the first formal sit down, And I know Ben and I are looking forward to doing more. Yeah, I'm not sure if you'll get like number 10 or number 50 or number 100. But we'll do this some more because we will not be able to touch the surface on what we've been able to accomplish together. And I'd just love to share a lot of our conversations because I think that they have an opportunity to help so many, to help so many other people out there. And, thinking about that 90 some percent don't make it, I'll talk about two things there. In normal industries, holy smokes, we're not in a normal industry. We are in an industry full of chaos, stress, inflation, tariffs. I mean, we are affected by clients. I say clients, I mean, don't put everybody in that circle of clients are good or bad. I'm just saying that for a lot of clients, this is, building a home is the first or second time they're doing it. The other ones, the third and fourth, are outliers. So they're totally inexperienced. So how can they know how to be good? We're going to talk about that many a times here too on this Grand House. Is I'd love to help educate clients on how to be better clients so that their builder has a better opportunity at being successful at meeting their expectations. I mean, that would be freaking cool. We're going to do that too.
For sure. You would make a lot of builders smile if you did some training because here's what we found out in 10. We're also 10 years BOP. Works hard.
Oh, yeah.
Works hard. I mean, it's not easy. And when you bring people into the mix where they're investing so much of their time and resources into this product that y'all are producing for them, yeah, it creates a little stress.
Yeah, it does.
A little high pressure.
Just kind of going back and talking about our team this morning. Again, these team breakfasts are fantastic. I enjoy it the most, but we were very fortunate to welcome a new teammate this morning. And it was really great to talk to Mike afterwards. And he shared with me, he's like, holy smokes, day one, he's like, this is a remarkably different environment than I've ever had. And I could just feel the energy. I could feel the passion. And so for us, it was just a testament. And when he was sharing that with me, I was thinking about business on purpose. I was thinking about you, the things that we've done together to make sure that this environment, but it also, we got to know more about Mike as we went around and shared a bit about everybody on the team. And Mike got to share a bit about himself too, which is great. But, it brought up the opportunity for me to say that, it came from you. I mean, all these quotes, all these little simple things that just stick in my brain. A work-life balance doesn't exist. I mean, that's a fallacy. That's like, hey, everybody's after the work-life balance. We've often talked about the work-life integration. And at CopeGrand, that, where work and life have to intersect. But at CopeGrand, I'm going to say this again loud and clear for everybody else. Family's first.
Yeah.
Before work, right? And so where Mike needs to take priority for his children who are various ages, but still, I mean, he's still dad, he's dad in a very pivotal moment within these children's lives and will continue to be for a short amount of years. And damn it, if he's with a company that robs the opportunity for him to take those ceremonious times that his children's lives are carrying on meaningfully while he's at work, but he can't get there because he feels guilted or required to be there that 70, 60, over 40 hours a week, but can't get away during the day when he needs to or should be with his children.
Yeah.
Man, if CopeGrand does nothing else for him to be able to do that for his family, it's a win for us. It's a win for this family.
For whoever watched, that's huge. I was talking to Bud, how long's Bud been a part of the game? Bud's just this wisdom, this just mountain of wisdom. I mean, I think he's in I'm not going to say his age, he's older than me. So it's not his first rodeo. And has spent a lot of time in what background? His background's what? Financial.
So Bud is going to be in a future episode, many of them. And Bud is CopeGrand's senior advisor. Yeah. Short story, which there'll be a longer story about who Bud is, but one of the most impactful men in my career, for sure. Happens to be my old boss, happens to be my mentor and CopeGrand's mentor, and also happens to be my best friend. And so he hits the trifecta for a lot of reasons. But I used to work with Bud in his business, which was amazing. He built an incredible business in his career in real estate, in home building and development and acquisition. So that's what Bud did, and he was at breakfast this morning.
Well, how do we measure client success? Like we talk about this. We talk about 4 P's. We love alliterations, and those 4 P's are purpose, people, process, as y'all say,
Yeah.
or profit. And he talked about, well, you're talking about purpose right now. This is what I don't want people watching to miss. You can go and do the thing and build the product and build the business and build this reputation, and you miss what matters most, which is your family, which is around purpose. How do we measure purpose? And you will get to the end of your life and say, I missed it.
Yeah.
There is a book about top 5 things the dying say. It's a great book by Bonnie. I can't remember her name. Great book. But Bud goes, these boys are getting it. These boys get it. And you said that to the new hire, Mike. That if you negate what matters most for this right here, just this facet of your life, you're going to miss it. And that's not going to be a part of our DNA. And if you want lifers, which I love, one of your core values is lifers, not pikers. If you want lifers, invest in the whole person. You can't just invest in half the person. You can't.
No, and I'll tell you, like this whole topic, this whole grand house is all about also adding value to our clients. I mean, that's the meaning of why we're in business and that's the meaning of how we stay in business, is adding a different level, a higher level, an intangible level of value to our clients. A builder with lifers rather than pikers, just how much, I don't know, how much am I willing to pay for that? How much or exchange for that? There is certain value, and I love that you brought that up too. We developed that in our vision statement, is lifers, not pikers, because this organization and where it's going to be all about Mike today. We'll move on. We'll get to some other things, but I think there's so much that's wrapped up in this, and this is why you need to come on probably in like episode 2. We don't need to wait till 5 or 10 or 50. Is Mike, the way we got introduced to Mike is one of our current senior project managers said, this is the man. Because he worked with him 2 other places, right? And it's so cool to understand that our team is also looking at making sure that we've got lifers and not pikers. This wasn't a hire from a headhunter that went out and found whoever. And quite frankly, sorry, Mike, we didn't need to add anybody else. This is a big decision, not just for Ben and I, but the organization. Like, it wasn't out of, hey, we're missing somebody. We are low on staff. Holy smokes. I mean, we know the economy right now is great. A couple of years ago it was on fire, right? And on fire, you're just trying to hire. Right now, I think that people are just making sure that, hopefully making sure that their businesses are as strong as possible. But not necessarily like staffing up right now.
Right.
And this team is.
Yeah.
With the right people.
Well, I don't want to miss that. Core values, if they're unique to you and not just core values, allow you to make decisions on a guy like Mike that's in alignment with your unique core values. And he said something today that bleeds right into being a lifer. Now, a lifer is going to do stuff on the job site that a piker's not going to do. Because a lifer is going to take ownership that that's his home. And so he said something, and I paraphrased it. He said something of deliver more in value than you receive in pay, which is one of my mentors' core values. He articulated about 85% of that. Deliver more in value than I receive in pay. Lifers do that. if you continue to hire and filter decisions through that lens of Lifer versus Piker, you get guys that are going to go the extra mile because they're taking extreme ownership, which is another shout out to one of your unique core values on the job site.
Imagine what that means to the rest of the team. Imagine knowing, like, in your family that your family members aren't leaving you.
Mm-hmm.
For your clients, that our family, and I straight up, I mean, I'm verbatim, I told this to Mike, I said, you hit on so many cylinders this morning. That, by the way, I'll admit something else that's kind of strange. I hadn't met Mike before.
That's awesome.
I haven't met.
Be real. It's like, you know what?
I haven't met.
He's a big old country boy. He walked in and you're like, I think that's Mike. Is that Mike?
Well, it's the only one that I didn't know at the table, and I never talked to him before. And so, here it is like, Ben and I have talked about Mike for sure, but I've never met him, never interviewed him. But for me, the comfort level, I mean, if Ben made that decision years ago, I don't know how I'd feel about it. Uncertain, right?
Sure.
But knowing that Ben knows our team, trusts our team when somebody says, hey, this person, and this is why, and knows our core values and our mission statement, it's not a decision. I mean, it isn't. It's just goes without saying that it's the right thing to do.
Yeah.
And it boils down to doing the right things. How did that feel, Ben, when you going through that process?
Yeah, this one's quite unique because this was the first time that, typically on new hires, and you guys have, and BOP has a new hire / interviewing process, and we're working towards that. This one 100% was not part of your process.
All right?
Sorry, apologize. But when you do meet that person and you see how much that person has the ability to light up someone else's world too. So when Daniel talked to me about, hey, so-and-so is really interested in coming on board and really wants to add value to our team, to our family, to our processes, that really mean a lot, but also helping to know that, hey, he really recognizes he's always wanted to work for somebody for some construction company that has your culture. And that was very desirous to him, where he's like, I want that family. I want the interaction. I want to learn. I want to get trained to be the best and to better my best and to be part of that family to help to grow to better myself. Mm-hmm. And he's like, and during his conversation this morning when we introduced him to the team, was I want to help to provide that family, not only for myself, my family, and also for the CG team to help to keep bettering our best. And he recognizes, really humble guy, really recognizes that, hey, I'm not there yet, but I want to be there. I'm going to do something that's going to get us there, right? So he has that drive, he has that grit.
Yeah.
He's he is a lifer, and he's loyal as it can get. And so when you have somebody like that comes to your team, you know it's the right decision, that it's going to help to bring everybody up and everybody rises with that tide. It's going to help to benefit the team through and through. And we've seen it this morning, and he's just starting to get a little bit of traction now, where we're excited to see where he's going to be at in a year, 2 or 3, 4, and then tell stories about this another decade from now when, we went on a limb and hired Mike, and not necessarily that we needed to add resources to our team, but we wanted to help to build value within our team and give him an opportunity to grow, to grow in his professionalism, to grow in his career, and to help, and ultimately to help his family.
And the beauty about that, 100% spot on, and the beauty of the unique core values is what it does. It allows y'all to transfer authority downstream for guys in the field to go, keeping their eyes open for talent, and they don't have to think through this huge matrix. They can filter it through the 5 core values that is part of y'all's ethos, which I'm glad you did. You read your mission, and you read your core values to start the meeting. Repetition, repetition, repetition. Let it sink in where it just flows. Where guys out in the field are using your verbiage of extreme ownership, of lifers versus pikers, and all that stuff, and it starts to change the overall culture.
That's a good point. Repetition is what repetition is mother retention,
Yeah.
right?
Yep.
And keep educating the guys. And it was a beautiful meeting this morning. It was a great start.
I was,
too.
I was stoked to be a part of it.
Yeah.
What else did you gather from breakfast this morning? I mean, as we've spent time over the years, I'll just kind of back up a little bit.
Yep.
This might sound familiar if others have watched other podcasts or webinars that we've been on. But as contractors, as home builders, some of us may have gotten a secondary education, college, trade school, that sort of thing. Ben and I were fortunate enough. I went to become an engineer. Ben went to become a professional project manager in construction. I'll say that while both of those are great, none of them included a business aspect.
Sure. Right.
None of them said.
Yeah.
None of
Surprise.
them. No class in engineering.
Yeah.
Trust me. No class in engineering
Yeah.
taught you how to be an effective communicator. None of them taught you how to manage money.
It's interesting you brought that up. I go back to one story, and I don't know why it's this one story stuff sticks with you, but to that, this has probably been 8 months ago. It was Coach Thomas and I. He's our director of coaching. We were sitting across about this distance from a lady from Chicago who was moving to the Low Country, and she was in her 50s. She'd taken care of herself. She had it together, right? She had a practice for 15 years, so she had made it past that 10-year. She was a pediatric dentist. Okay, so she is smarter than me, right? Like, I'm sitting across, I'm like, she's buttoned up. She is saying things like, I can do what I do in my sleep. And I stopped her. I'm not going to use her name. I remember her name. I said, can I stop you? And she said, yeah. I said, why are you talking to us? Because you've been in business 15 years. You're in the prime of your career. You just told me you could work on my daughter's mouth with your eyes closed, basically. And I'm going, she goes to what you just said. She goes, nobody taught me how to run a business and all the background stuff in dental school, and it's burying me.
All right, so this is great.
So
So here it is. Drop the mic on this because I've been waiting to ask the question about the topic of this whole conversation. You are here because of a lot of reasons, but you are also here because you are our business coach with Business on Purpose.
Yeah.
And I'm here to say, or to ask the question, why do we need a coach?
Yeah, it's a great question.
Because we asked ourselves that,
Sure.
right? It wasn't like somebody said, wasn't like a client said, wasn't like a banker said, it wasn't like a tax accountant said, hey, you need a coach.
Sure.
But true to our core values though, being doggedly relentless, bettering our best, now becoming known for having the best pre-construction and best project management team in Charleston, we knew in order to get there and to be at the top of our game, to reach our best. I mean, we think about any of the top athletes.
I was just going there.
Name them. Name any
MJ.
top athlete. MJ, I mean, in any sport.
Sure.
In badminton. Okay?
That's Ben's sport.
I guarantee in curling,
Or baseball.
in curling, I mean, you can't watch the Olympics right now without them showing the athlete doing these incredible things in the Olympics. And then the next shot showing their coach.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I guarantee in most instances, there's coach and there's coach and there's coach.
Sure.
For the best of the best.
Sure.
And so I remember being naive. I remember being in that gap between the education, which you thought was education, that you paid for a significant amount of money, college, trade schools, significant amount of investment, which I'm not saying is wasted. But I'm saying the real opportunity is to continue your education. Because most folks and we have at some points just plateaued, and got at risk. Got at risk of making really poor decisions. Did we survive them? Did we fail and thrive? Yeah, absolutely. That's the part of growth is you do make mistakes. You understand what they are. You do protect your clients from anything catastrophic. You do make sure that everything's right, even if there is something that comes up. But an opportunity to really grow and be fulfilled. And that was a topic of conversation this morning at breakfast.
Sure.
Is growth and fulfillment.
Yeah.
We asked Mike to say, what's driving you? Where do you want to get your fulfillment? Because this team, this family, we're going to stack hands using your word. We're going to stack hands and rally around that for everybody. And it's unique for everybody too. So it was good to talk about that. But
Well, I think you answered.
why get coaching?
Why
get coaching?
You said it yourself. One, I'll say this, and I said, again, I always preface this because I have a sales personality, right? If you look at my disc profile, I'm a high I. I persuaded us to get in the cold water today. Like, I persuade, but I don't blow smoke. If you
Did you push him?
Huh?
Did you push him?
Oh, there you go.
To rewind the tape on
That was
that.
a love push.
Yeah.
Get in the water.
Little love tap.
No, but I do not blow sunshine. And I say this, I took Mike aside, and I'm looking up because he's a big boy. And I said, this group, we coach, we've got 120 clients across the United States, even into Canada, one in Germany. Not everybody is as growth minded as this group. And I just told them that. I said, they are committed to continuously, right, sharpening the saw. And I've seen that. I love that. It's a challenge to me because I know you boys are always studying. And so guess what that does for me? I've always got to be sharpening the saw. If you want to learn, teach, right? And so
Amen.
Why do you get a coach? Well, Michael Jordan got to where he got. He had all the talent, but he needed a sparring partner in Phil Jackson, somebody to push him. He needed Phil Jackson, I'm just using that analogy, to point out blind spots. We can't see what we can't see, but a third-party voice, another set of trained eyes who shares the mission, win championships, right? My good buddy runs Joe Gibbs Racing. They have a North Star, go fast. They bring other people in. How do we go faster?
That was a killer book. What was that book?
It was a great book.
Dave Alpern, CEO of Joe Gibbs Racing. Just Google it.
Yeah,
Just Google it.
It was
Yeah.
a great, but guess what? And you just attested to this. One of the great traits of Dave Alpern, shout out Dave, is humility. He knows that he's not arrived. He started out in a broom closet at JGR.
Such a great story. I love this book.
And now he is running the show, and he's humble, and he's vulnerable, and he's always learning. And he knows that if he's not always learning, he's going backwards, stagnant, atrophy. And that's what Mike and I talked about. I said, you are not going to atrophy here. I said, I've heard leveling up from two different people. You will do this if you lean in and you embrace. And so why do you need a coach? You need a push. It's easy to say no to getting uncomfortable in the cold water unless you've got that other voice going, we're getting in the water. Ben, we're going to stay in 3 minutes. You're going to want to parachute out of, you're going to want to pull the ejection handle, Mav, 30 seconds in. And it's going, breathe, man. You got this.
Yeah.
It'll be worth it on the flip side of this.
I think
We just got back to cold plunge.
I'm ready to go back in. Yeah.
We're talking about cold plunging again.
but the cold plunge too is like, those businesses, going back to the businesses that don't make it.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't make it because they gave up too soon. Right? They didn't stick it out in a lot of cases. And getting in that water, like our first cold plunge was just, 15 seconds or whatever. And this is years ago. We didn't get the benefit of it. We didn't learn anything. Mm-hmm. We didn't have that opportunity to slow down our breathing. We didn't have that opportunity to build our mental mindset to say that all you have to do is just show strength and resilience for the next 3 minutes.
Yeah.
And then it's 2 minutes. And then it's 1 minute. And then you're done.
And then it's an experience.
And then it's the experience. You mentioned, too, I'm so glad that we came up on Alpern's book, but it's an awesome book. I mean, good read for anybody, clients too. I have shadowed that book with with a lot of things that I like to talk about with CopeGrand, for sure. I just didn't really realize it until we brought it back up. You mentioned growth earlier. Most people, when they think about growth, they think about driving sales, a certain number. When you said growth, I knew what you meant. I knew that you didn't mean CopeGrand is constantly pushing growth to get to a sales number. No way. This team is just focused on the absolute next level of the best.
Yeah. And that goes to the 4 P's that we talk about. How do we grow in our purpose? How do we grow in our people development? Clients and our team. People, right, is the 1 P. Processes. How do we refine our processes and grow our processes that translate to the product that we put out there? Because that's what we say a lot. Your product is not your product. It's your process or your process.
Amen.
That's your product. And so y'all are growing. I heard guys talk around the table today about refining processes, refining processes. Okay, and then the profit is the last P. It comes along with doing the right things holistically. And I think the 4 P's covers holistically, holistic health.
Shall we talk? I mean, there's going to be here's the thing. You mentioned earlier that, I can't remember the saying, but the whole point of sharing here is caring. These conversations here might be, another builder might be like, why would you have shared that much information that's so unique to you and is your potential sales, whatever. I think Ben and I are willing to dump the bucket out on that, right? Whatever we've got in there is a magic cocktail. This grand house is going to lift it up and just throw it all on the table.
Yeah, I love that.
And so let's talk about why we pronounce or enunciate.
I was like, are these boys somewhere in the Northeast that just say, if I've been saying it the wrong way, I grew up in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. Maybe I'm saying process wrong.
So
you're a little closer to Canada.
Yeah.
we do some unique things. Yeah. All right. So what is it? I mean, when you say process, I cringe because we've built ourselves at CopeGrand to cringe when each other says that, and we correct each other, and it happens less and less. But Ben, why do we say process? Why do we say project? Why do we say everything that is spelled with PRO in our vocabulary is announced that way, enunciated that way?
It's a mindset of really taking those first 3 letters, PRO, and being a professional in everything we do, and really helping to convert your mindset and way of thinking that we need to be the absolute best professionals. And if we need to do that, we need to change our way of thinking, because a lot of times, growing up, learning throughout the industry, sometimes, you still learn bad tricks or bad processes. And being a pro and taking an initiative to help to rethink things and be the professional and gain the knowledge and wisdom that we need to help to teach, help to educate, not only our internal team, but also for our clients, and being professional in everything that we do. So we took a look at it from a different perspective. And at first, when we first talked about this, we trip up a lot. What'd you say? How'd you say that? You want to fix that frame? Yeah. Are you thinking, are you taking the proper steps to be the professional? So it really goes back to the basics of being the professional in everything that we do.
Sure. That is a huge mindset shift, and it just sticks. There's a stickiness to that pronunciation that stays with the team.
Absolutely. And if you're on a team, you don't pronounce it any other way.
Right. Right.
You get the licking real quick.
Yeah. I don't know. It definitely puts a suit of, it's putting on a jersey with this team. It's knowing that you're playing for a winning team when you're using vocabulary and speaking the language. And for us, we just want to make sure that our team is also, because they are, recognized as professionals at every level in what we do.
Love it.
And so we love our processes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was funny. I remember that first time you said them.
Yeah. Those Canadians were onto something enunciating it like that, but because they say pro everything. We use it on our team for a different reason.
Love it.
Yeah.
That's good.
All right, so there was a quote that I mentioned earlier that I thought to bring back up. And Joe Gibbs Racing, their thing is, we go faster. Let's go
fast.
Go fast.
How does this decision help us go faster? Because that's what we are paid to do, is to go fast.
Yeah. Ours, we couldn't take that one. But we oftentimes talk about these quotes that you might share with us. I've got a stack of cards. Thank you for writing me cards and putting these quotes on there.
Yeah.
These meaningful things that just ever so subtly change the conversation and help. But one of them, and I might even butcher, but it's okay. You guys are going to get the point. If you want to go somewhere fast, go alone. If you want to go somewhere far, go together. And we shared that quote later last year, rounding out the year with the team. And we oftentimes talk about it related to business on purpose, right? Your coaching with us, organization, roles and responsibilities, clear financials. Just quite frankly,
clarity of vision.
For sure.
Yeah.
Clarity of vision for the whole team. And it was the end of last year, where we sat with the team, and it wasn't just Ben and I's vision of what we wanted. It was, guys, here's last year's vision statement. Here's all the things that we excelled really well with. Here's the things that we never got to, quite frankly. There's some things on the vision that we're on a fixed set of resources, right? In reality, that you're not going to get to everything. And you probably shouldn't as you set goals or a vision. But damn it, if it's important, it's going to stay on the vision for 2026, and we're going to reframe our means and our resources to get there. And so we did that with the team, which is pretty meaningful. It was a meaningful exercise for us. And knowing after we went through the roles and responsibilities, and a lot of this stuff kind of sounds silly. You need a mission statement. You need a core values. Like, I'll be the first one to say that
Sure.
in previous organizations, I felt like it was lip service. I felt like it was Chotsky.
Yeah.
100%.
100%.
But on a team our size that lives it and breathes it and makes decisions through our mission and core values and is in alignment with our vision, man, is that clarity. And where there is clarity, there's confidence, and there's a lack of stress. And so, business on purpose, what's y'all's slogan? I mean,
Our mission?
Your mission, yeah.
Liberate owners and key leaders from chaos to make time for what matters most. I mean,
Amen.
That's what we do. That's why I am not hesitant to, and it's not about me, it's any coach at BOP, because our coaches align with the mission. And you want to make sure your team's aligned with your mission. Clarity is kindness, we say, right?
Amen.
And it's going, man, do I want to get up at 6 something and head to 2 hours, and I move my meetings for the day and to get in the cold water and sit around a table? And yes, yeah, absolutely, I do, because I see what these guys are doing. I see what they want to accomplish, not just bottom line, but changing and impacting lives and producing a kick-A product, as a result. And you aren't perfect. Make mistakes.
We are
you
not
learn.
perfect.
Yeah, and that's the thing. That's the fallacy. No, nobody's perfect. No leader's perfect. But we are continuously moving in a direction to get a little bit better each day. Even growing in our leadership, right? That's a lifelong process. If you think you've arrived, pride smacked you right between the eyes. If you think you've arrived. So, yeah, it is. I don't know how I got on that of wanting to come down here. I don't know what's sparked that. I digressed, but
Well, it's quality time.
it is
Right.
quality time. It's mission-minded folks
Mm-hmm.
that there's alignment. There's alignment, and Now you get to share this with other builders. I love that. There are not a lot of people that will say here. A lot of people hold it here. And I think there is a blessing in to be able to just go, hey, go implement it.
Yeah.
The magic is in implementing it. Here's the sauce, man, but you got to put it on your burger and you got to eat it. You know what I
Here
mean?
we go. I would have never come up with like the analogy or euphemism of putting it on a burger and eating it, or dumping the bucket out. But
Sure.
that's what it just felt like. It just was a feeling that I wanted to try to put words to. So it's pretty cool. But you being here, talking about coaching, is you have been able to see things that we would not have been able to see. Builders said this. I can't believe I'm going to bring it up on the first episode. Us builders, let me just joke around about it.
Yeah.
With jovial, us builders are just fools with egos, right? Listen, a lot of us are so extremely talented and so careful and so motivated
Sure.
to do amazing things. Why I say that we're just fools with egos is because we just want to build beautiful things. That's like the ego part of it. The fool part of it is, from experience, this is one of the toughest industries that a man, could want to go in. I mean, it's straight chaos. It's fire and brimstone. The threat of everything, the Murphy's trying to bite your ankle every single day, not only from the business standpoint, the economy standpoint, the personnel, your team, the job site, the job sites, the physical job sites of everything, all the, the nails that are sticking up. I mean, it is everywhere. Is you're trying to get bit. So yeah, man, us just builders are fools with egos.
So Brent, just a few minutes ago, you said a word that really resounded with me, and it was alignment. And we talk a lot about alignment, especially over the last couple of years within our organization,
Sure.
and more specifically about BOP. So thinking about alignment, what does life look like before BOP as a business owner, as an organization? And then what does life really start to look like as BOP starts to get some traction
Sure.
within a construction company?
Yeah, so alignment, think about it. You boys drive trucks, right?
Yeah.
How's it feel when that thing's not in alignment?
I can't let my hand off the wheel.
Right? You get to your destination, right? But it's not an enjoyable process. It's bumpy. It's not
stressful?
process. Process. I just got an electric
Had to warm
shock.
this up.
There's an electric shock. The Ben's got a button. You get to your destination, but it is not the smooth process that it can be when it's in alignment. So what does alignment mean? I'll go back to the 4 Ps. How do we make sure that we are in alignment in our purpose? Alignment in our people. We've already talked about that. Lifers versus pikers. There's a DNA. There is, I want to deliver more in value than I receive in pay mentality. So there's alignment in the people that we hire. There's alignment in our processes. It is the CopeGrand process, okay? And then profit. Do we have alignment in what we say, alignment with the profit that we are making? Is it in alignment with our goals? Is it in alignment with what matters most? What are we doing with that profit? Do we have a spirit of generosity? So alignment. Andy Stanley's got a great quote. I have to slow down to get this right. The clearer the vision, y'all have heard me say this, alignment, right? The clearer the vision, the fewer the options, the easier the decisions. The clearer the vision, the fewer the options, the easier the decisions. Alignment.
Yeah, go ahead and rewind and just, take that first part of this, what we talked about, this discussion.
Yeah.
For sure, that was there.
Sure.
Sorry to interrupt. Go ahead.
No, I think in alignment, what does it look like? It looks like bumpy. We're still going. It's a pretty truck. To, man, did we get different tires? This thing's rolling a lot smoother. I can take one hand off the wheel and put it around my sweet thing, And we arrive at the destination, and it's a more enjoyable ride, because that's another nugget. We're all seeking for the picture at the end, hands raised, but it's about the ride getting there. we're
For
all
our clients too.
100%. We're all drivers. We want the destination, but if we miss the journey, then we're missing the whole thing. Because the journey is 99% of the process.
Man, I'm daydreaming. Sorry to interject. I'm daydreaming about being out of alignment.
Sure.
Because we've been there. We've been there. And this isn't a plug for you.
Yeah.
Everybody's been there.
Mm-hmm.
We're still there in certain aspects, right?
Yeah.
Although much less these days. Much less. Man,
And that's progress.
Man, is there like, does it feel to some extent that the business side, right, that every business owner and managers of companies, does it feel like a lot of that's just on autopilot? Yeah, a lot of it is now. It does feel that way. But I remember those out of alignment days of, yeah, you're going to get there, as you said.
Yeah.
But it's going to be like, man, you got to wrench on that wheel. You got to constantly paying attention. It puts you at danger because you can't react as quickly to things. You always have to keep your hand on the wheel. Your always mind is trying to avoid those obstacles. But there's this other thing that's in my mind that's going on. You feel like you're in control because you still have the wheel. And you're still going down the highway at whatever speed you're going. And your clients are like, yeah, he's making progress. But what you don't see is the driver. And what your clients don't see is an incredible amount of friction that's happening.
Oh, that's a great point.
In that tire, right? In the axle, in the bearings, in the motor that's running hotter, in the oil that's losing life. You cannot sustain being out of alignment.
Which wears you out. And
Which
burns
wears you out, but it puts your clients at a significant level of risk.
Yeah.
They don't know how many miles you put on out of alignment, but damn it, what's going to happen? You know that oil is going to fail. You know that bearing is going to give up. You know that tie rod is going to tremble. And you might have clients. You are taking the responsibility when you take on a client for the health of that vehicle, and you might be able to get there, yes. But as we put more and more miles on, you're gonna get more and more worn out, and your clients, goodness gracious, you just put them at higher and higher levels of risk.
Sure.
Of not being able risk financially, by the way, not just with financially, their time, their resources, their emotion, their family, because we have an effect on all of that. Fools with egos, right? Why would we ever sign up for something like that? That's a heck of a responsibility. That's a heck of a responsibility to be out of alignment on.
Yeah.
So why coaching?
I think, again, great analogy of answering that.
And it doesn't need to be you.
Smoothing out the processes and smoothing out the 4 Ps. And the thing about it, we just talked about this off our own camera, I don't know. Our founder, Scott Beebe, we watch him, we have learned from him, and we now share the same mission. Obviously, it's the BOP mission, to liberate owners from chaos to make time for what matters most. But when he comes back from expos, we speak at expos all over the country, his heart hurts. He said, behind the curtains of all the pretty bells and whistles that you've arrived as a business is broken processes that run the back end of the business. And these people are good people, smart people, very gifted people, but nobody taught them how to run a business, right? And so our heart bleeds for folks that may not make it 10 years because they don't know that there is a way out. We talked about chaos earlier. Chaos is always going to be there, but submitting to it and lying down for it, there's other options out there. And that's where we get to come in. And it is a joy for us to come in alongside, Scott calls them heroic business owners, because it is hard, especially this industry. There is a lot of moving parts. I know a lot of young men on high blood pressure medication who are in this industry.
I'll tell you, we're going to talk a lot about that too in the future on this Grand House. At CopeGrand's been focused. You know it. We have many conversations about mental health.
Sure.
It's like, it's checking to make sure your engine's got oil. If your mental health is low, goodness gracious, are you redlining?
Yep.
Are you high heat? Are you about to fail? So, and everybody has different things that have gone on in their life, and then to put on the stressors of the project that lasts, or the pressures of a client that, I'm just going to stick up for some project managers here and business owners in construction, saying that certain clients holy smokes, do they apply an undue amount of stress onto their builder and their builder's team? Put my finger at a couple that I know and saying, I forgive you. You didn't know what you were doing probably. But we, as we care and we're so passionate, I'm talking about us builders, us humans, us project managers, project coordinators, we care so much about them and their outcome that we take their stress on.
But it bleeds down to what matters most for y'all, your families.
Man.
And so I think that if you guys can wade into that vulnerable and be real and give voice to it and talk about it, man, heck yeah.
What's one of my favorite quotes, Ben?
You got many.
Well,
that's a trick question.
But don't forget, you want to talk about your mug. But what is one of your favorite quotes?
Oh, I didn't talk about the mug yet.
Quote then mug.
The third one. One of my favorite quotes. This is probably the one that I bring up the most. I don't know who started it, but I know it came from a conversation that we had, I believe. I know it. I believe it. That communication is... No. I would do this. I do this all the time. I say communication is the miracle cure for everything. But I go back right after I say communication, and Jacqueline's laughing back there. Proper, right? Other people announce it proper.
Yeah.
We announce it proper communication is the miracle cure for everything, because it's not just communication; it's the right communication is the miracle cure. I blocked that out. Actually, just shut. This is me. This is real. Proper communication is the miracle cure for anything that you've got going on, and we can cure things before they even come up.
Sure. And
that's important to recognize. So. All right, the mug. We covered y'all's mugs, right? We covered business on purpose. And we thank you specifically and Business on Purpose for helping liberate our entire business, and by that fact, our clients, our past clients and our future clients, liberating them from chaos.
Sure.
Providing them added levels of securities and communication, financially, and fulfillment of the process with our grand experience, which our team of lifers is so focused on day in and day out. Ben's mug was all about our team retreats. Thank you to our clients who respect our time. We take that one team retreat in the fall. It's always been a staple of ours. We love it. The spouses get to come. We get to connect on a whole different level and do some really just an incredible experience. If you're not doing that, think about it. Reach out to us. The whole point of this is sharing and caring. So if you have questions about what we covered today, please shoot this Grand House a message. Follow CopeGrand Homes on Instagram and other socials, and DM us. And don't wait. If you're laying in bed and you're thinking about, man, that really hit me, or mowing the grass. Like, I like to listen to podcasts while I'm mowing the grass. Thankfully, I'm not doing it this time of year.
Well, I don't want to miss that too, because you were going to give some nuggets. In our time around the table at your team meeting today, you had 7 just
I'll tell you what,
for leadership.
I'm going to do bangers.
Okay.
Like, they were bangers. All right, I'm going to do that, but I'll come back to that for a second.
Okay. This
mug, the third one, was it's a really cool mug, and we've been drinking tea, of course, because we're still trying to warm up. This mug has posted all over at Dream Team Charleston, and this mug particularly is sentimental to me because it was a gift from one of our clients, and she has made many of these for our team. Man, I say this often. I love our clients. And I particularly love this one too, because she is also so sentimental about, I call her, when I describe her to other clients, I call her our serial client because we've done 8, including maybe a small one, 9 projects together, which is pretty cool. And so when we think about CopeGrand being 10 years old, how many, like we've continued, and she's, just said, we're doing another one, because she dubbed us the Dream Team Charleston. I didn't say that's what we were. She just said, you guys are our Dream Team Charleston. So this is a kudos to the team, our efforts, everything that we've done, the blood, sweat, the tears, related to growth, right? Related to straining so that we could get muscle, related to pushing through, related to doing the hard things. This one right here means a lot to me. So, okay. couple things. I love this experience.
It's fun.
I loved sitting here chatting with you guys. I loved bringing up and dumping the bucket on some items related to CopeGrand and what we feel is most important to our organization, and therefore transcending into our clients and the value that they receive from our interaction or our service to them. If those watching, those builders, those contractors, if you guys want more of this, hey, shameless plug, hit the subscribe button wherever that is here. Follow us on Instagram because we share a lot there and the other socials. But also I'll share this. We have been, this is an honor for Ben and I and the CopeGrand team. We've been selected to host in Charleston a collective that's happening throughout the country, and there's a small number of them. As a matter of fact, there's a limited number of builders that are in the collective at each location. But shout out to Mark D. Williams of the Curious Builder podcast, who had started the Curious Builder Collective. And Mark's an incredible builder himself and his team. And so it's been great to get to know Mark. It's been an honor to be able to host the newest collective of the Curious Builder in Charleston. So we're going to be doing that 4 times this upcoming year in 2026. We're going to carry it in 2027. So if you're watching this later on, know that this conversation and deeper aspects with many other builders, but a select number of them, are going to be happening every quarter in Charleston. If you are interested, please DM us. Let us know, hey, we want to be a part of it. I will put you on the list for it. Right now there's quite a bit of a list, but please do not. Okay, we'll filter them out. We'll make sure, if we can, to get everybody an opportunity to participate in the Curious Builder Collective in Charleston. Brent, we're probably going to ask you to come.
Be great.
At some point, because it's also about getting industry experts in to help continue our education, continue our growth, continue bettering our best, and helping others around us.
Sure.
It's that sharing, caring mentality. So I'm definitely excited about that, and we're going to be doing it in different locations in Charleston to make it easy for everybody to get to. So whether you're in Bluffton watching this, currently, whether you're in Columbia watching this, currently if you're Georgetown, Myrtle Beach, and you still want to come to Charleston on one of those 4, message us. We'll put you on the list. Also, those hitters.
Oh man,
The bangers.
One of them.
Yeah.
There were 7.
All right, but let's just save them, right? Because
Okay.
I think. Well, you can give me one. You give me one because I know you wrote them down. I love how you take notes.
One of our core values.
I really want you to, and this is an opportunity for me to see if you've got initiative too. I'm not judging you, right? But if you want these bangers, the 7 tenets, so to speak, of
Leadership.
yeah,
Right.
fatherhood, motherhood, leadership, ownership, relationships. These ones hit hard this morning. They were awesome. You go ahead and give your favorite one. Give a teaser, but please DM us. That's a direct message. Message us and say, "Give me this list, please. Can I have this list, please?" And we will send it to you.
Yeah,
and then I hope you take it to your teams. I hope you take it to the dinner table.
Yeah.
I hope you take it to the family reunion, and I hope you take it to every relationship that you can. I hope that you'll help somebody else with it, because we started out this conversation about community.
Yep.
We talked about community. This community here at CopeGrand, this family. We talked about that exercise group called F3 that we love so much. We just talked about growth in being better human beings. So I hope that you do message. I hope that you do ask for this. I'd love to send it to you. Just please share it with somebody else.
Yeah.
All right, what's your one thing that you loved about the tenants?
This was great. Excuses destroy character faster than failure. Excuses destroy character faster than failure. And there were 6 more just as good. And one will resonate with one person or the other person that you need to hear during this time, that you could pass it downstream.
Mm-hmm. All right, one more time. Give it to me.
Excuses destroy character faster than failure.
Man, what do we hold on to the most? I mean, what's our identity? I know, yeah, our identity. I know what I think. Like, our egos kind of create our identity. Mm-hmm. But holy smokes, you want to destroy your identity, the thing that you built, you put all the energy into. And you realize that excuses are going to kill that the fastest, not failure.
We just trained on that on the way up here. We were running our team meeting, and our owner was talking about excuse making. And then you hit me with that one. I'm like, okay, there's something here.
Yeah.
And everybody needs to hear it because we're all prone to make an
You
excuse.
can take that one back to your team.
I am.
You can take all 7 back.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna take it all.
It's gotta be
I'm gonna
proud of you.
DM him. I'm gonna DM to get the ones I didn't write down.
Yeah, you got them. You took the notes. You earned it this morning at breakfast. But I do. I mean, we love failure because we grow from it, right? But that hit hard. That was a hitter, man. These excuses that are so easy to share. It's so easy to fool somebody. It's so easy to fool a client. It's so easy to fool a subcontractor or somebody else to say, this is not this because of such. No. I mean, and all these hit our core values this morning. It was so beautiful.
Good stuff.
And again, I didn't have time to study or prepare. 5 a.m., actually 6:40 or 6 o'clock, I guess it was by the time I heard it. And then we had breakfast and no time to prepare. But as I read them, I'm like, and that's our core value.
Mm-hmm.
It's an unwavering commitment to excellence. It's truth above everything else. And man, does that not stack? These excuses start to stack and they get easier and easier. And you just realize that you're sinking and sinking further and further in anchor and drowning. So, man, I love it.
With all that, are we out?
I think we need to be because I time traveled. I had a lot of fun, which is, gosh, that's rule 1 number 2. You're
Must
a
have
Cope
fun.
Grand. Yeah, it's all right. We'll talk
Must
about the
love
rules.
dogs.
We'll
Yeah,
talk
we'll
about
talk
the
about
rules
rules
on
again.
another one. But I just hope, y'all engage with us. Like it, subscribe if you want to. Who cares? Send us a message. Let us know if this is hitting home. And if you do, we are going to have more conversations a lot like it. And you will motivate us to be in a more consistent routine of doing this more and more and bringing it to everybody.
Yeah.
So thank you. Thank you, my friend.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah.
Fun.
Thanks,
Brent.
too.